Talk about some basics of plant watering and everything you need to know about watering your plants. So, it's important to know that different plants have different water needs. Different types of plants need less water, while others need more water. The best way to think of this is to think about the plant's natural environment. If it would naturally live in the desert or in a dry area, like a succulent, it's going to need less water. Tropical plants, plants that live in the forest or the rainforest, especially plants that grow sort of at the base of trees in a very humid or wet area, are going to want more frequent watering and higher humidity. You also want to think about the pot size that you have your plant in. It's really important to pick the right size pot for your plant so that the roots have a little bit of space but are not swimming in too much extra dirt. Remember that smaller pots are going to dry out faster than larger ones, and also pots that are made of materials like terracotta are going to dry out a lot faster than a plastic pot or a glazed ceramic pot that retains and holds in moisture. Clay pots like terracotta are designed to suck the moisture out of the soil, so they are better for those drier type plants. But if you have other plants in them, you just need to water more frequently. Soil also affects the water needs of your plant. Certain soils are more well draining than others and will drain some of that excess water out. Other soils soak up water like a sponge. You really have to get used to the soil that you have and see how it holds water for your plant. And then the environment matters. Different areas have different humidity, temperatures, and light levels that will affect how quickly your plant dries. So, areas that are dry in the air, warm in temperature, and bright in light are going to the soil will dry out faster and your plant will need to be watered more often compared to more humid, cooler, or darker areas. So, how do you know the needs of your plant? We understand that different plants have different needs. How do you know what your specific plant needs? The best thing to do is to research your specific plant's water requirements. It might have come with a tag that talk about its water needs, or you can do a quick search. We have a lot of plant care guides where we talk about watering needs, or you can look up on your preferred search engine to see what your plant needs. Secondly, you can observe your plant. This is my number one tip for plant ownership in general, but it's just to check your plants regularly and see how they're doing. Just stick your finger in the soil and see how it feels after you water it. Does it feel wet for a day? Does it feel wet for a week? How long does it take for the soil to start to dry out? The faster the soil dries out, the more often you'll need to water it. Generally, your average tropical type houseplant wants the top 1 to 2 inches of soil to dry out before you water it again. And you can check this with your finger, with a skewer, with a dowel, however you prefer to check the moisture. But once the top 2 inches of soil, about a finger deep, starts to feel dry, then you usually want to water again. And remember, watering frequency is going to change. It's going to change by the time of year and based off your plant's needs. Most plants have a growing season from the spring to the summer, and they slow down their growth in the fall and the winter. When they're growing more, they'll need more water generally. Also, when it is, as we said, warmer, sunnier, hotter, your plants are going to dry out faster than when it is cooler and darker. Remember, if you have them indoors and you're running heat, they actually could dry out quicker in the winter than they do in the summer. And just a reminder of the factors that influence your plant's watering requirements: the plant type, the pot size, the soil type, your environment around the plant, and the growth stage of the plant. So if it is in that growing season or if it's in dormancy.